So here's the mystery historians still debate more than 2,000 years later. Who truly betrayed Julius Caesar? And why did they believe murder was the only solution? Tonight, we step inside ancient Rome to uncover the hidden motives behind one of history's most famous assassinations. And by the end, you may realize, Caesar's killers believed they were saving freedom, not destroying it. To understand the betrayal, we must first understand Rome itself. The Roman Republic was built on one sacred principle: no king shall ever rule Rome again. Centuries earlier, Romans had overthrown their monarchy. Since then, power was shared between elected officials and the Senate. But Rome had a problem. It had grown too successful. Conquests brought wealth, slaves, and territory stretching across continents. Yet political systems designed for a small city struggled to control an empire. Civil wars erupted, and armies became loyal not to Rome, but to their commanders. One of those commanders was Julius Caesar. He conquered Gaul, expanded Rome's borders, and returned home not just as a general, but as a legend. And legends frighten politicians. When Caesar crossed the Rubicon River in 49 BCE, he committed an act of rebellion. Roman law forbade generals from entering Italy with armies, but Caesar crossed anyway. According to legend, he said, "The die is cast." Civil war followed. His rival Pompey fled. The Senate fractured. Rome burned with uncertainty. And Caesar won. He became dictator, first temporarily, then for 10 years, and finally, dictator for life. Pause for a moment and imagine how that sounded to Romans who hated kings. Statues of Caesar appeared everywhere. Coins bore his face, something reserved for gods and monarchs. He sat on a golden chair. He accepted honors once unthinkable. Here's the question historians still ask. Did Caesar intend to end the Republic, or did fear create the conspiracy against him? Because fear spreads faster than truth. More than 60 men joined the assassination plot. But 3 names stand above the rest. Marcus Junius Brutus. Caesar trusted him deeply. Some even whispered Caesar might be his biological father, though history cannot confirm it. So why would Brutus turn against him? Because Brutus believed himself descended from the man who overthrew Rome's last king. To him, protecting the Republic wasn't politics. It was destiny. Then there was Gaius Cassius Longinus, a skilled soldier, but overshadowed by Caesar's glory. Cassius saw tyranny where others saw reform. He became the architect of the conspiracy, recruiting senators one by one. And here's something chilling. Many conspirators had once been forgiven by Caesar after fighting against him. Ironically, that mercy placed his killers close enough to strike. Ask yourself, did kindness make Caesar vulnerable? History often simplifies the assassination as a fight for democracy, but human motives are rarely pure. Let's examine the deeper layers. Rumors spread that Caesar planned to crown himself king. During a festival, Mark Antony publicly offered him a crown. Caesar refused, twice. But was it humility or performance? The Senate couldn't risk finding out. Caesar filled the Senate with his supporters, weakening old aristocratic families. Traditional elites watched their influence disappear. For them, this was not philosophy. It was survival. Imagine watching one man receive endless praise while your achievements faded into obscurity. Ancient sources describe senators humiliated by Caesar's dominance. Jealousy, historians believe, played a larger role than many admit. Here lies the greatest contradiction. The conspirators believed murder would restore freedom. But revolutions rarely unfold as planned. And none of them asked the most important question: what happens after Caesar dies? The morning arrives. March 15th, the Ides of March. Caesar hesitates. His wife Calpurnia begs him to stay home after dreaming of his death. A warning note describing the conspiracy is handed to him, but he never reads it. Why? Because conspirator Decimus convinces him to attend the Senate anyway. Another betrayal hidden in plain sight. Inside the theater of Pompey, senators gather around. One approaches with a petition. Another grabs Caesar's toga. Then, suddenly, steel flashes. 23 stab wounds. Ancient writers say Caesar resisted until he saw Brutus among the attackers, and then he stopped fighting. But symbolically, the moment captures the deepest wound. Not betrayal by enemies, but betrayal by friends. The conspirators shout, "Liberty, freedom, the Republic is restored." But outside, Rome falls silent, not in celebration, in shock. The assassins believed they were heroes. They expected gratitude. Instead, chaos followed. Mark Antony delivered a funeral speech that turned public opinion violently against them. Crowds rioted. Civil war erupted again. Within years, Brutus and Cassius were defeated and dead, and Rome did not return to a republic. Instead, Caesar's adopted heir, Octavian, rose to power. He became Augustus, Rome's first emperor. The very future the conspirators feared became inevitable because of their actions. So here is history's cruel irony. By killing Caesar to stop a monarchy, they created one.